Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, good evening. I hope everybody's doing well. So, guys, are you able to see my screen? And that's what I was talking about. You see, there is a spring sale happening and going on for for trading view, and it's basically here. You guys can just take the benefit of it. It's happening, and just want to assure that this doesn't fade away, because earlier I was having some issue. Okay, so how things? Yes, you can see screen, and hi everyone. Hi Ali and Salam. I hope the Ramadan is going well. Today was the last Friday of Ramadan. Feeling so bad about it, and I prayed from all my heart, and yesterday as well. So every night I don't sleep. I wake up whole night and indulge myself in prayers. This time, last year I couldn't do that, but this time I decided I want to do that because I want to do that actually. So my Ramadan, basically schedule is like I wake up whole night. I mostly sleep, in the morning after namaz and prayers around 6:30, maybe, and maybe sometimes 6:35, and then I get up around 12:30 for noon prayers. And again, when I come back, I indulge myself in some reciting Quran and stuffs actually. Also, of course, checking some charts in between, and whatever I feel, if there is some change in plan or things are slightly off maybe. So I think this is the spring sale is happening, and don't miss it. If you just open a trading view, you'll get this screen, and you can just probably explore the offers. I'll do that as well, because I need to subscribe for like next 5 years, maybe. So I'll just update my plan accordingly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, and what do guys think of basically the market? First of all, what I feel for the market, 5.24% is genuinely looking hot. But if I just have to look at from the USD DOM perspective, yes, it looks slightly bullish, and this order block is now not valid anymore. But if you just look at from the perspective of H4, H4 is likely going to form a bearish divergence, which I really so wanted to form, and there is some slightly going to be some sort of a some sort of a irregular expanded flat, meaning the move that you saw was 5 waves or maybe some sort of ABC, and then the move you got was another ABC. So practically speaking, this overall move is overall it is bullish for USD dominance in the HTF. And if you look at from the perspective of a trend line, we are still respecting this trend line, and overall this is bullish for the USD dominance. However, if you just look at from an intermediary short-term movement for the USD DOM, what I believe and what I feel is the move that you saw is either 1-2-1-2. It's like 1-2-1-2, or maybe AB1-2. This is wave 3, 4. We push up like here to the resistance that we have around this levels, around 5.56%. So we push up here, and this can be some sort of a W, X, and maybe some sort of a B, C, Y wave, like sweeping up the lows and then run up. Overall, we might see a bit of relief bounces across the board again, and this time we really don't want to miss it. Basically, this was the chop that we had since like past few days. The March is coming to an end, and the way things looks like, I think more or less March is likely going to close red for BTC and maybe the overall market. Especially Ethereum is looking so weak and poor. So I think the USD dominance is going into a resistance. Looking to the 1 hour time frame, I clearly see a very sluggish, over, I would say, over bought territory. There is some sort of a, double top forming on the RSI as well as here. So I feel that if you look at from the lower term time frame perspective, even if this is A, this is B, and this is 1, and this is 2, because we are having a regular flat here, I do feel the wave 3 is in, and we are likely going to see some relief bounces towards this order block that we have here around 5.29, and after that one more push up for this order block that we have here on for basically the USD dominance, and after which I think this is where we should be looking to long with our stop losses being above levels of 5.56%. The only issue with this thing is I still don't get it. What sort of a wave count would this be? A lot of choppiness have happened in this whole thing. Because BTC is having a very, very difficult structure at the moment, and the plan is perfectly playing out in my view. If you remember, this was our plan. Go to the equilibrium around 86,859, reject, and then we come back down to retest 78,364 and maybe $78,400. This is what exactly we wanted. Maybe a bearish retest and like this further down like this, and I would like to see a push up towards an original push up to sweep up these highs, like forming some sort of a irregular expanded flat. Now not necessarily we go up here towards 100k. Maybe we simply do a shallow retracement. If this is like wave 1, we are doing wave 2 at the moment, A, B, C, wave 2. We go for a wave 3 like here, make sweep the highs, wave 4 like a double top, chop, and then further down. So we want to play this one, and then we want to play this one as well. This downside leg will definitely gonna happen. So overall we are bearish, guys. It's just that an intermediary leg we want to play right, because if you look at from the range perspective, this is your range highs. Okay, this is your range highs, and these are the range lows, and you got to move on the downside with A, B, and C, practically 3-wave sweep of the lows. And this is normally 3-wave normally happens when you're forming an irregular expanded flat, meaning that this move was wave, some sort of a wave A, this is wave B, and now we are in the form of wave C. We are likely doing wave C. The volume is pretty much going down, which means that the real big move is not having started basically. So we are going to probably chop till 31st of March. And as I mentioned, after 27th of March, I'm expecting a price to go up only. But this has been slightly delayed due to, the retest of 70,000 being delayed. So if this would have happened before 27th, we would have already been, pumping up. But now that we have seen this delay, I think we are likely going to form a head and shoulder on the lower term time frame. So what can you expect on BTC? If you look at from the EMA perspective, you have a strong resistance and of EMA 200 around 87,000 on the 4-hour, as well as EMA 100 around 85,667. And if you look at from the EMA MA 300 perspective, 89.4 is definitely going to be a strong resistance. I'm also going to open EMA 800 lines because that's very, very crucial from the HTF perspective. See, we are respecting this resistance. 89k is a very, very strong levels. Any divergences we have, there is a likelihood that RSI forms this divergence, but I would not completely or blindly follow this divergence, but we still have this divergence. Now if you look at from the wave count perspective, the wave count that I see is something like this. I see this as a very nice diagonal actually. That's the only thing that it fits actually. Rest it doesn't fit. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and this is 5. This is a perfectly fit. from a diagonal perspective, which means this whole run up that we are watching is some sort of a micro wave of one, meaning that this is like beginning of an uptrend. We are still in an uptrend, and there is going to be a wave 2 here. There's going to be a wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. Okay, so I'm just going to change the color here to yellow, and just going to increase it to minute. Okay, so normally how this plays out is let's say this is your wave A, this is your wave B, and we need to see a wave C. That's going to change the color to minute. So basically we are in a wave 2 at the moment. Wave 2 is likely going to be A, B, and C. So if you just look at from the Fibs perspective, the wave 2 should not go beyond 79.375 786 Fibonacci levels. I think 80,390 to maybe golden pocket zone is a very likelihood case for a wave 2 to find some triggers. In fact, let's just probably also keep 0.14 Fib. That's your bull bear territory. If we flip 87,184, I think we are bottom and we can just simply run up. So looking to the USD DOM and a BTC plan, maybe we go up here slightly to the bearish retest of 85,224 and go down one more time towards 81.4, maybe 80,390. Go up, creating chop till maybe like this, and some sort of a ABC move, and later on we break out at the beginning of April. We do something like this, and we target maybe 100K as well. It all depends. One thing I know for sure is your wave 3 is going to be slightly bigger because of the wave 1, and wave 5 is going to be shallow wave 5, which means it's likely going to be simply a double top. Very, very shallow wave 5, very shallow. So you don't play this, wave 5. It's simply going to be some sort of a trap. So longs are going to get trapped again here, and shorts are going to get trapped under $86,000 to $80,000. This $6,000 gap is where longs are going to get trapped, and once we start going above 96,000, they're going to puke. Basically, they will start flipping bullish. So that's what a lot of people might try to short it here, because logically it's a short, but when I see this structure, definitely it tells me that that this is something should be avoided at the moment, because we are still ranging. That's a range, that's your range lows, that's your range highs, and that's our equilibrium. So basically we are still ranging. You need to be bearish once we start breaking this, because it can literally trigger a $10,000 move towards 69K or maybe even 67.9 levels. I mean, that's going to be a $10,000 move on the downside. Similarly, once we start flipping the red box, we still haven't tested this red box of 90K. Once we flip it, there's going to be at least in my view 8 to 9K move on an upside. So it's a very very awkward situation. So bear is going to bet that we're going to break it here. Bulls are going to bet every time that we're going to break up here, which means that longs and shorts are going to open over here. Basically, this is the zone where longs and shorts will open. And if you just want to check it, I think the fixed FPVR should give us a very similar sort of a sign, where the POC should be around 87K if things are proper. You see the value area high is around 88,246. The upper value area high and the value area low is and the POC is around 84.4K, meaning that a lot of people have started or opened their long positions as well as the short positions around this 84.4. And basically, once we go back under 81,384, longs are going to close their positions, and shorts are going to keep on increasing their size. Basically, this is how things are going to work in the next few days. I think we should be optimistic for the market. Don't rush into forming a negative opinions on the market that we're just simply going to dump from here to 74K. I mean, we do have that scenario where the market literally dumps from here straight away to 74K. I'll come back to that scenario as well. Now, So this is the bull case scenario for BTC. The bear case scenario is that, the wave C over here is already in. So this is your wave C basically. This is, A, B, and C. So that is your wave C. I mean, we are done. So practically what it's going to do is we are likely going to see a bearish retest of 86,000, somewhere around 86 to 86.6, like these levels. So when we see a bearish retest, and before we go down here, we see a bearish retest, definitely it's going to be a short, as I mentioned, with our stop loss being about 88.8. So that's going to be a good short in my view. Of course, our first TP target should be around 80,400, the logical 702 liquidity pool, because you have a nice liquidity here as well as here. So you have a 2 liquidity pool, in this zone, and then you also have a good H4 bullish engulfing candle. So basically it's acts like an order block, So when we go here, you can move your stops in profits somewhere around these levels, so that you don't simply get simply lose all your gains, round tripping the gains basically. But in case if this is bearish and we want to go down, this is how it will do. It will dump like this, and it will simply go down in a fashion that it will just go down towards 69k, because this level is not going to hold now. We are already bounced once from these levels. Next time we're not going to hold. It's going to be acting as a, maybe we can bounce one more time, but the bounce is going to be slightly weaker from these levels now, and 78,000 would be your resistance then. So you have bull case as well as bear case. My favorable scenario based on the USD dominance is this one, basically the bull case scenario. So the thing is, this move is like A, B, C. This is maybe some sort of a let's say A, then you have B, and then you have C. So this is some sort of A, B, and C. So this is like a W. Then you have A, B, and we are doing 5 waves up, like this for like X, and then you have A, B, C, a fake breakdown, in this scenario. I mean, this is the most likely scenario in my view for the USD dominance, and which perfectly aligns with my plan. Now, the invalidation levels for the USD DOM is clearly 5.56%, because if we start flipping these levels and we start closing above, then we might have a problem, because then it would mean that BTC is going to close under 78.5, and we are likely going to lose this red box. Then it will be a full-fledged short. You can make like 10k in this single short. Your 702 is going to be your safest liquidity pool, where the price will not touch. So you can place it slightly above, and your next target would be around 71.3, which is your 3-hour setup. And ideally it should be the support, which is around $68,422. So that is going to be your short in my view if we lose these levels of 78, and I'm gonna go big when it does, whenever it does, if in case. Similarly, I'm aiming to long basically. Now there are two possibilities, as I mentioned. The bull case is yellow, the bear case is green basically. I'm favoring more of the yellow scenario. The reason why I'm favoring, because of this diagonal, actually the diagonal happening with the low volume. You see the price is making highs, lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, and then we are likely going to break a trend, and the trend is going to shift. So if you look at this structure, the volume is going down with every peak. So which means that this is a diagonal for sure, 110%. I'm confident the next ideal place should be this only, like some sort of a 3-tap setup. You got this 3-tap, and theoretically it is very, very valid, and I do feel that the yellow one is likely going to play out, because even the USD dominance is giving me that vibe. So right now, if I have to tell you, you should be slightly careful in longing at this point, because the levels you really want to long, whatever you want to long, is around 81.4 and 80,490, 390 levels. Okay, can even go to 79,400 as well. Similarly, if you look at from the others perspective, a lot of people told me that, hey, we have flipped on the daily. I don't know, we haven't flipped on the daily. Barely. Yeah, I would have told you that, yeah, it has flipped. I would have been very, very confident with this flip, but it formed some sort of a bearish engulfing over here, forming an order block. It shouldn't have formed a bearish engulfing candle, honestly speaking. And there was a bad divergences. If you remember, I posted it. These lines, I posted it. Don't be FOMOing into altcoins. There is a bad divergence forming, and it is so not good. And that divergence is forming on the daily time frame, and it just played out very precisely and very perfectly. So what can we expect from the others crypto market cap? Basically, what I feel is we are likely going to sweep this lows, form a head and shoulder bearish retest, and then further down towards these levels of support that we have around 212. And now this is going to be the deciding factor whether we break down and we do something like this, taking the liquidity. This is where the huge liquidity is for the altcoins. Looking to the daily time frame, this is definitely not looking good, because not only we rejected under 50, above 50, sorry, we now even went under RSI based MA. So we already had a closure, under the RSI based MA. Now, if tonight, if we are getting a similar closure, then we are going to literally I think this is likely going to do something like a bearish retest and then further down, meaning that alts can be a very good short in my view, so as to play the levels. But at least I think 215 billion is what I'm aiming for. The exact number is 214.76, and if we lose that, I think we are likely going to see a sweep of this. Not only this, but we are going to sweep 189 $1 billion, meaning that alts can literally go another 12 to 13% move on the downside if we lose this to 114 billion. I really don't see any structure here. If you ask me, there is no structure at all. No structure. So practically we are just gonna play the levels on others, as I don't really have the wave counts for it. The same way that I have the wave counts for BTC is very, very clear to me. Similarly, if we just go from ETH perspective, the weekly time frame on ETH is again forming a bearish engulfing candle. This is likely forming an order block here, guys. Very, 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 very strong order block. Now, as the April is approaching, I do think that there are two possibilities here for ETH. If you look at from the weekly perspective, we have lost these levels. I think we are likely going to form some sort of a bullish divergence. Now, there are two ways the bull divergence can form. Either the price sweep the lows one more time, going to the order block that we have around 1560 to 1559, or the price holds here and RSI sweep the lows, which is going to be very bullish. It means that there is an absorption happening. This is the very bullish scenario I'm talking about. Bullish in the sense, of course, we will dump on the weekly, but it's going to be like the price making higher lows and RSI making lower lows sort of scenario, which I think might not happen the way the structure looks like. The way RSI lost 450% again, RSI based MA. So definitely this is not something good for ETH. So I'm still not an investor in ETH at the moment. Basically, I'm still aiming for a short on the monthly levels of 2268, and also if if we do get a sweep above 2147, would be a very good short for ETH. In fact, 2100 was a good levels to short, as I mentioned previously as well. But I just wanted these range highs to be taken because there's a very huge liquidity that we have. And if you look at from the perspective of ETH, I think it is also forming a very similar diagonal, which is quite interesting, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's a very interesting diagonal we have. So ideally, there are two possibilities that can happen with ETH actually. So the possibility number one is that we go down towards 886 Fibonacci levels, meaning that this 5 waves is not wave 1 or wave, so no, it's not a bullish waves. I mean, it's a bearish, means this is like wave A. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 in a diagonal form, wave A. And then we are doing wave B. Wave B goes up here to 1826, maybe $1,800. We get a bounce up here to 1947, 1962, and then further down towards 1689, push up, then further down, like forming some sort of a bullish wolf waves on a lower time frame. So this is going to be wave A, this is going to be a wave B, and then you got to see a wave C like this. So that is going to be a range formation on ETH. So this is how likely the range is going to form. So I'm just going to clear this whole thing up for you, and this is going to be your new range, LTF range for ETH. So really want to short it? Yes, you can short around 1950, 1933 levels. Your take profit targets are going to be 1793 to 1789. In case if you lose, then you can even target the lows of 1738. Now ideally, if BTC is supposed to hold 80,390 levels, let's say BTC is very far from 702, which is like 4% on the downside. I think if Ethereum also follows a very similar thing, like 4% downside, definitely this 1790, 1789 is going to trigger. This is where the shorts are going to play. I mean, 1933 is a good levels for ETH to short. Looking at the 4 hours, 4 hour is forming a very strong, I would say bull divergence, a very strong bullish divergence you have on the 4 hour. Basically, just look at from this, that's a very good bullish divergence you have, I mean, formed on ETH. So this is something you should not ignore it. And whenever we have seen a very high oversold territory like this, we definitely see some relief bounces. You see, every damn time we go here, we go for a relief bounce. So I think we are very close to get some relief bounce, especially on ETH. And in my view, the relief bounces are likely going to be, as I mentioned, the bull waves and the bearish kid scenario, similar to what we have for BTC. Both the scenarios, basically, if this move is some sort of a 1 2 3 4 5, that's like a wave 3 and 4. So this is going to be like A, B, 1 2 3 4 5. So we are likely going to see this 0.886 Fibonacci levels. From there, we will see 1 2 3 4 5 like this. So we go up to our bigger resistance that we have on the monthly resistance around 2273. Either this is going to be happening, or we're going to sweep the lows, go to the weekly support of 1690 to 1665, flip up these levels and look for an opportunity towards 21113 and then further down. That's the only two possibilities that I can see for. These are the two wave counts that I have. Either the green one is an irregular expanded flat, or the yellow one is the normal zigzag ABC, basically, So it's very similar to what we have for BTC, and yellow one similar to what we have yellow, the green one what we have similar for ETH. So these are the two similar, these are the two options that we have for ETH. Of course, the green can slightly go even extended to $1,600 as well. It all depends on how far BTC can dump, because the 786 Fibonacci levels is around $1,560 levels for ETH. So this can even slightly extend there, but I think we have a support around 1687. So it is definitely going to should give us some bounces. Now we do have a CME gap, guys. These are the CME gaps we have. We still have gap till 3,665, which I feel that it will get filled at some point of time. Now we just need to have some patience, because I think this gap is going to get filled, the 3,201, most likely in May, June. Maybe in June we might see this gap filled in next 3 months time. But definitely this CME gap I'm expecting to get filled somewhere in between. Maybe some sort of May should be good for this CME to get filled around 2,500 2,600 bucks. Remember, it's not going to happen like boom. No, it's not going to happen this way. We need to form some sort of an accumulation. You see an accumulation happening like chop, and then we go for a gap up. So this is how the accumulation is going to happen. We chop, 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 like, you know, some sort of a bullish checkmate. Then we go up here, we go up here. So it's going to be taking a pretty much time for these things to happen. Similarly, Solana, guys, Solana is back under 130. We got a very good scalp, but I think now it's time for Sol to, you know, because this is a very clean ABC played out, very dirty ABC. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, very dirty. It's a very clean ABC. I think Sol is the first primary example that the market is stopped here. And that's the reason, you know, this was a prime example of how market can just turn very quickly. This is 1, 2, 1, 2, and we are going to see wave 3, which is going to sweep up this lows of 124, 4, and 5. So if you really want to see some bounces on or play some scalps on Sol, I think we can probably look for some limits around 120 for, you know, for some scalps. Now for lower term time frame, yes, we do have some certain levels around 126 as well, 126, 127. Okay, 126 perfectly to be precising with these levels, you know, we have it. So we are going here, we reclaim this, we can play some scalps, you know, towards 135. So because we have a range now, so this is the range I would like to play for Solana. Definitely we are bearish now that we are formed a concrete, you know, ABC on an upside, something, you know, this is the bearish sign for Sol, but definitely there will be some sort of a relief bounces on Solana in between. And now going to the SUI, guys, it pumped very nicely and perfectly played out. You see when I mentioned 5 waves up ABC. So I think, you know, if you look at the 5 waves that we went through on, you know, the SUI, a very similar 5 waves now have formed on BTC, basically very similar. Just look at the 5 waves. Now we are doing ABC right now, so it's like, you know, matter of time that, you know, even BTC does something like this. We're just gonna take a little bit more time for it to play out, and it was very precise that it has played out. If you look at from the H4 perspective, the only thing, you know, which is looking good on SUI is that it reclaimed the range lows. The only problem with this reclaim is that you know, either this is some sort of a 1 2 1 2, basically this is 1 2, you know, this is some sort of another 1, this is A B C 2, and if you are holding up 2.37 these levels, I think we can see further push up towards 3.18 3.19. So I am aiming to see how we are going to hold up these levels of 2.37 to 3.8 on SUI. I'll just see and watch how things looks like, because right now RSI looking bearish on H4. If you look at the daily, we are barely holding up the you know, 50 levels, but once we close under, I'm damn sure we are going to retest 45, meaning that the momentum is going to shift from bullishness to bearishness on SUI, and we're likely going to retest the range lows of 2.38 to 2.37. So practically, you right now you don't FOMO into anything, because if daily closes like this, you are going to see another bearish engulfing candle on SUI again. I mean, this is going to be a clean bearish engulfing candle again, which means that it brings me to my target of 2.38 to 2.37. API3, it's still you know, pretty much holding up the levels as I mentioned, chopping up as this charted like on the previous live stream, basically holding up 1.13. so let's see if we hold. I think one more push is still missing on you know, API3. There is a possibility one more push is still missing, but in case, you know, and if I have to just consider from the 5 waves perspective, this can be, you know, considered as 1 2 3 4 5. The only problem with this is, you know, I mean, this is not a problem, but this is very much validating the count, because this is wave 1, this is wave 2 3 4 5. The only slight problem is even the wave 1 is having a huge volume. Normally wave 1 don't have volumes. Wave 1 is very, very small. So either this is wave 1 2 and this is 1 2 3 4 5. So this is like a bigger wave 3. So right now this is wave 1, 2, this is wave 3, and right now we are doing wave 4, you know, and then we're gonna see one more push up for a wave 5, and for that 1.13 to 1.11, 1.1 should hold. 1.1 is your, you know, support. Basically we should not lose that levels at any cost. You know, you can put this levels here, that's the level you should not lose it at any cost. 1.12, you should not lose that if you really want to be bullish on API. Coin, guys, a very similar plan. If you remember, I shorted a hell lot of coin, guys, trust me, and I got a very good entry. A lot of puts I got it on short in the sense puts, you know, on the coin, Nasdaq. It got a bearish retest of 208 and now dumping. My target for coin is now anything under 145, can even go for 130. But my take profits are set at 146 and 130. 146 I'll be exiting, you know, 80%, and 130 I'll be exiting 100%. Basically, invalidation is still beyond 277, and I know it's a wider stop loss with a lower risk reward, but this is how it makes sense because we are likely going to form a very good head and shoulder. So I'm aiming for a longs on coins. I will have a lot of call options over here on coin with a target of 283, 284. This is what I have for, you know, coin. Let's talk about gold. I mean, I'm so unfortunate. I so really want gold to give us that 2990 pullback so that we would have played this scalp towards 30. I mean, this is how I really wanted. Just go one more time, and it just so played dumb. I mean, I would say it played very notoriously with me, honestly. The wave 3, wave 4 is so shallow, not even retested the 0.38. It was so shallow. It just went to 0.236. I mean, I've never seen a very shallow wave 4, but so very shallow. And I do think right now we are on the verge of, we are likely going to finish this, and the wave 5 is likely in for gold, guys. So practically speaking, you know, this is the channel that you guys have it, and you see the channel has been respected, and the 5 waves are coming to an end for gold, guys. So you just have to be very careful. We are in the sell-off territory. As I mentioned previously, I've already sold my physical gold and investments, like, you know, 50% I've sold around 3050. I'm aiming to sell more and more investments because tomorrow we are having partial solar eclipse, and lunar eclipse did not give us the pretty much big dump that we wanted on gold. Of course, it played for the crypto markets and SPX, but it not gave that dump on gold. So there is a possibility that, you know, tomorrow eclipse can give us that you know, dump, because if we look at from a bigger picture perspective, this is how the bigger move on the gold looks like. I'm just simply going to change the color to yellow so that, you know, we don't mixed up things. Okay, so this is how your bigger trend line goes. I mean, this is your wave 1, wave 2, or maybe some sort of a triangle, let's assume. Okay, so let's see, this is a wave 3, 4, and we are finishing a wave 5, meaning even the bigger wave 5 is coming to an end, and even the smaller wave 5 is likely coming to an end. And if I just have to draw from a fibs perspective, I do think that the 1618 will be very well respected on gold, meaning the 3087 is going to be very well respected as a resistance. You know, let me just 3088.06 very well is likely going to get respected, and for the gold. So if you look at from a bigger picture or bigger perspective on the daily time frame, there is a solid bear divergence forming on gold on the daily. I mean, look at this bear divergence. You can't just ignore the price making higher highs and RSI making lower highs. Similarly, on the weekly time frame, another solid bear divergence forming on gold, price making higher highs from here, as you can see, and, you know, RSI making lower highs. In fact, RSI is just, you know, been doing a very greasy double top over here, and it's like, you know, a 3-day pattern forming, not a 3-day but inside out pattern forming. Take up the liquidity 1 2 3 4 5 and then dum 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 dum, something like this. I think I'm going to swing short gold basically from here 3,085 to 3,100 bucks, and my invalidation will be about 3,000. I'm just gonna keep $100 buffer because I would be expecting a massive dump on a weekly. I think April and May is gonna be good for gold, like for gold shorters, you know, not for gold longers. And I think we can at least see a dump of at least in my view we should see a dump of 11% to 2,700, and if thing goes well we can even see a dump of 15 to 16% basically from these levels to maybe, let's say if this is where the top would be around 3,100 psychological levels, then we would be aiming for 0.382 and 0.5. So yeah, I'm in 2,600 15% and 2,450 would be 20%. So anywhere in between, and after which we pump it up again towards 3,500 to $3,600. So April, May we can dump this way, and then June, July, August we pump it up towards 3,600 bucks. You know, so this is the very likelihood might happen. One more thing, guys, if you are from India basically, and if you have a spare money, you should be investing this year in agricultural land if you can. I mean, if you have an opportunity to do that, just do it, because it is going to pay you really big money in 2026. Okay, there is an insider info that government is going to bring basically a plan that currently an agricultural land can only be bought or sold or hold only by farmers. But if you are a registered farmer actually, and if you're not a farmer, you cannot own any agricultural land in your name. Okay, so this is what the Agriculture Land Act is at the moment. I think they are the insider info that I've received, and they are changing this whole act. You know, the 60 years act they are changing, and now they're going to make agricultural land tradable and holdable by any, even industrialists can buy, corporates can buy, basically anyone can buy, you know. So I do think it's going to literally pump a huge there's going to be huge demand in agriculture land. Especially you can buy some agricultural lands in Maharashtra if you get it for like at least buy 10 viga, you know, 10 acres, viga in the sense acres. You can buy at least 10 acres, 20 acres, whatever you can buy agricultural land. Trust me, if you have made good money in gold, sell over here and just buy the agricultural land, and 2026 you just sell off, because that pump is going to be like a blow off top. It's like a FOMO, and you will get an appreciation of 50 to 60%. Maybe some places you will get an appreciation of 200% as well. It all depends on which area you are buying. So start looking for those agricultural land, guys, and I'm damn sure you'll get a big you can make a good amount of money. So invest in agricultural land in India. Okay, basically right now the agricultural land is already dumping. You will get at least easily 10% discount anywhere you want to buy. Maybe in the next few months when Sensex will dump a lot, you might get another 15-20% discount by end of this year, meaning that you can get another 25 to 30% discount on agricultural land. So slowly and gradually buy if you can buy. And in 2026 this reform is likely going to come. 2026 is going to be a game changer for agricultural land on HTF perspective, from hard-term time frame perspective. So in 2026 you will see that pump, a crazy pump. People will rush into buying agricultural lands, because right now not many people can buy, because of this simply thing that you should be a farmer. Basically you should be a born farmer or a family of a farmer to be an agriculture, to own an agricultural land in India. This is the act. You know, of course you can temper things, that is a different story, but if you can buy right now, start looking for it, and you will make good money in like, it's March is over, so April to next May, or April to next because next year again we have a 2 blood moon. So 2025 is going to be up down for crypto. Of course, there's going to be bear market this year. We're already going to trigger it. Next year is going to be a bigger bear market. So if you have seen a 40% dump on ETH, next year it's going to be very bigger dump on altcoins, because next year we again have a blood moon. And this historically, if you look at the data of past 40 years, 4 decades, 40 years, you will see that we haven't seen a year, 2 years having a 2 blood moon consecutively. 2025 and 2026 is the only year so far in this decade of 2000, basically this decade. We have seen first 2 years with consecutive 2 blood moons. 2025 we have 2 blood moons. 2026 we have 2 blood moons. So there are 2 years simultaneously with 2 blood moons. So overall it's 4 blood moons we have in this year, and you just have to be very cautious, especially. And so just a risk of course, in Dubai, if you're staying in UAE, I think I made a slight mistake in UAE by liquidating my property slightly early, because I think UAE market is going to boom. You will see a nice one last push in property market in 2026, probably like a sell-off, and then 2026, 2027, 2026 end, 2027, 2028, 2029, 2030. Till maybe 2029, 2030, we will see some sort of a recession in UAE as well, and some kind of a depression, because I know for sure, as a CA, I'm chartered accountant, I have a group, I have a circle, I'm damn sure, I know for sure there's one builder who is literally on words like having an oxygen, and at any point of time he can get liquidated, if he just fails to, play it properly. So that is a very, very, very dangerous situation. I cannot disclose everything. It's a insider info. So maybe it happens in 2026 with 2 blood moon colliding with each other, or maybe it happens this year itself. We will see. But I've already sold my property, and those property that I sold is now up like 4%, at the moment. So it's okay. I lost 4%. But, hey, I'm happy. I booked a good money from 2020 to 2025. So I sold in January. I started selling since like November. I was looking to sell, and I could get my price in January. Actually, people were asking for like 10% discounts, 15% discounts. I was like, what the hell is happening? But now in January I got my price the way I wanted to sell my properties, and I'm happy. So I'm looking to invest in agriculture properties in India basically, and I will buy good amount, because I'm not a farmer. So of course I need to find a farmer. Probably I'll have to do something about it. Okay, you guys know what can be done in India. Actually, everything is possible if you just throw money. So let's see what I can get it. But yeah, it's an advice. Probably just have some agricultural land. It will definitely gonna help you. Okay, one more thing. When gold start dumping 20%, don't expect more than 20%. Of course, it can dump to maybe 30% as well. But as soon as you get a 20-21% dip, just simply start buying more and more and more and more gold. And even in case if it goes for 15% dump, just keep on start buying more and more and more gold, because we are still not yet done with the wave 3. Actually, this is just wave 1, this is wave 2, and this is just wave 3. There's going to be a wave 4, and after which you're going to see wave 5, which means that gold is going to pump. By end of this year, I expect gold to be around $3,400, $3,500, easily. So overall, I'm very much bullish on gold. So whatever the 15% dump you get it, you simply press the buy button. That's what you should do. And it's going to be very quick. Just build the swing positions, and hold it for like few months, and I'm damn sure you're gonna make a good amount of money on gold. SPX, some of my shots got triggered and some of my shots didn't get triggered. So as I mentioned, SPX, it's going to do for a bearish retest of 5774. So as an index, I'm having a good short on it, but a Tesla short did not got triggered. I don't know why. It should have got triggered, but anyways. So right now, I think SPX is going to see some sort of a nasty dump. Again, I think we will see a dump towards 5,350, a slight pullback, and then further dump towards EMA 100 on the weekly, and maybe a deviation under weekly 5001. This is going to be, in my view, a good buying opportunity, guys. Whatever the shots you got it, just simply close it. Don't make sense for me to hold some shots here. It's a EMA 100 weekly. Whenever the price goes to these levels of EMA 100 on the weekly time frame, the price gives a very strong reaction. The reaction is going to be very, very strong. Let me just show you how strong the reaction can be. So when we were in an uptrend in 1994, we were in a continuous uptrend, and never once we tested the EMA 100 weekly. So in 4 years, after 4 years, so basically 1994 and in 1998 October we tested it, and after which we simply run up, making up like new highs, and a lot of things happen. So once we start losing EMA 100 weekly and we get a bad death cross of 50 to 100, then we can say that the price is likely going to see a massive dump. Now, a very similar thing happened in 2004 during a recession, slight recession that we had, a silent recession. We kept on pumping till 2006 for like 2 years, and then we got a retest of EMA 100 weekly. The price immediately shooted up. Again, we got a bearish retest, like a bullish retest of EMA 100 weekly. The price again shooted up, and after which we dumped. So I do think whenever the price goes for like flips the EMA 100 and runs, and then it tests the EMA 100, we definitely see some good bounces. So here is another example. When the price in 2012 started running up, we kept on pumping till like 2015 for 3 years, and when we got a retest, like slight deviation under EMA 100 weekly, we got a nice move towards 2117, which was roughly, if I have to compute, it is roughly 10% move on the market, after which we further went down, another deviation on the EMA 100 weekly, and the price started going back up. So I do think very similar examples I'm watching at the moment, but there are also examples whenever the price flips up and goes up here, and it just simply massively dump on a weekly time frame with no bounces and rejections from EMA 50. We can see something like this as well. A major crash happened in like 2020, like COVID crash happened at that point of time. So there was a one-off event happened at that point of time, a one-off event, I would say. So yeah, I mean, EMA 100 weekly is a very strong indicator basically. Last time as well in 2023 we bounced up, and then we back tested EMA 100 weekly in 2023 itself, and the price starts going back up. Now a very similar thing, I expect the price to make a deviation under EMA 100 weekly, maybe slight deviation, not necessarily it goes to 5170, but slight. At least what I am expecting is a bounce. Now the bounce can be of two types. We dump here, we bounce, we dump here, and then we go for a retest of EMA 50 weekly. So EMA 50 is going to be like this, and again if we back test or lose it, then it's going to dump to EMA 200 to 4700. And if we flip up the EMA 50 as well, then we go for a one more push up. Ideally, if you really ask me, I still think one more wave is missing. 1, 2, okay, or 1, 2, and this is a wave 3, this is a wave 4, and that's going to be a wave 5. So I think Sensex can have one more push up for like $6,400 to $6,600, so one more push up makes more sense to me on Sensex. So I think I'm gonna buy it. Of course, I'm just gonna put my money where my mouth is. So I'm just gonna buy a lot of stocks here, especially I'm gonna invest in tech stocks because they have took some hit. So I'm gonna invest in Tesla for sure. A lot of hate is happening for Tesla, so I'm just gonna put some money there. I'm gonna park my money in coin as well, and also I'm gonna park my money in IBIT shares for BTC. Apart from that, I'm also gonna invest in Netflix. Netflix chart is amazing if you look at it. So just look at the Tesla chart on Nasdaq. We got a bearish retest Honestly speaking, that bearish retest was at par, but I wanted this bearish retest or like here, like in 315 sort of thing. So I'm just gonna wait for it. This seems to be like some sort of a reversal at the moment, so I'm not gonna short on Tesla. It's looking slightly stronger, and we have a pennant as well. So an EMA 100 weekly is looking up good. Basically, you see, EMA 100 weekly is looking strong. EMA 50 is resistance. You have a support of EMA 200 daily. The only last levels you need to have as a support is MA 300. That's a very good levels. So practically speaking, we are going to chop in between here, EMA 50 to EMA 200. This is going to be a range. This is the range. This is the box where we're gonna chop it. So we flip it up here. We can run back up till a resistance that we can, like a neckline resistance around here. So we are going to see some rejection in this zone. Maybe here as well, 375. Yeah, 375 zone, and then further down like this, the way Solana did. So I think I'm not interested in shorting Tesla. I would be more interested in longing it. The next retest of EMA 200, I'll be aiming to long Tesla basically. So don't short Tesla, guys, and wait for the things to happen. One more chart that is looking good is Tau. I forgot. I studied this chart. Of course, not the way Wizard, he studied, but the way I do it in my way. So Tau, basically, there are two possibilities. I already mentioned this chart previously. We flip up the range lows of 227.87. We flip these levels, and we can see a push up to 362, basically. If you look at from an RSI perspective, we are barely holding up this 41. And if we lose, then definitely the green one is going to follow, meaning that we can see a nice dump on Tau towards 165. So it's going to be a good swing short opportunity for Tau. But if you look at on Tau on like 2 hours time frame, maybe just look at the 2 hours time frame on Tau, I do think that Tau is forming a very good ABC pattern. This is A, that's a triangle. B, and that's a C. So very good triangle. It can be a WXY, the WXY. It's like a W, like a double top. This is a very good double top that you have. A double top. That's like a 5 waves. So this can be wave 1. This can be A. This can be B. And now we are doing wave C. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we go down back to 227. So this is the levels you really want Tau to hold. And I do think very likely if BTC and ETH can give us a bounce, I think Tau can hold this level as well. So the interesting theory for me for Tau basically is 233 to 227 levels. This is a very good zone in my view for Tau to buy some spots with an invalidation under $220. So logically I think Tau can do something like this, a bounce up, a chop to 227, maybe even it can go to 222, reclaim these levels, and we can go for a swing long opportunities till $300. Can even go for a liquidity here towards 313 as well. Overall it's bearish, but this is how I see Tau. So I think it's a very good opportunity happening on Tau. I think we should be looking for this opportunity. I'm just gonna save this, and I'm gonna aim for keep on watching these levels for Tau. Say the last shot for today, because I feel that this coin is also strangely forming a bottom. And why do I feel? I mean, I was very bullish on this coin, but the way it lost all the levels, it did not held any support. The plan slightly changed for me, and now that we have swept the lows, I'm aiming to look for any sort of a flag structure actually. So this is the flag that I'm looking for. Yeah, this is the flag. So understanding this was a low, so this was a wave 1, and this was your wave 2. That's a bullish wave 2. The 786 Fibonacci is around 16 cents. Again, even push it down to 12 cents, because if you look at from a weekly perspective, this is a very good levels. If you look at from RSI, it's bearish. It might form a bull divergence. Yeah, we do have one bullish divergence, but I'm not sure how strong this is. So maybe we go one more down towards 16 cents. I'm aiming to buy some spot bags around 17 to 15 cents. I'm just gonna keep on holding it for like next few days till maybe June, July. I'm just gonna hold it because this can be very interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave A, another A, B, B, and C wave B, and we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave C, which means this is ABC, clean ABC. So I think this can outperform many coins in coming days. Something you need to have eyes on. Say, guys, this is absolutely looking insane from a structure perspective. Trust me, I've seen many structures, but this is a bullish structure. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you have a perfect ABC. You have a very nice channeling, and it's a very perfect structure, for a bull flag. So hence, I think 16 cents to 15 cents is what you should be investing on SA. Remember, it can dump it down to 12 cents as well. So basically, whatever you invest, consider it like a DCA, another, if it goes another 20% towards 12 cents. So you can DCA there. Overall, I think this structure is amazing. I mean, I'm definitely going to see put my money in this coin. Probably I'm just gonna put, maybe just gonna buy like 50k bag, put 50k, maybe 100k in this. Because the reversal can be something like this. It can just do something like this, can make new all-time highs, and can even go to $2.4. So practically, a pump from 16 cents to something like new all-time highs like 6x. And if you just go from a fifth perspective, the way SUI did, I think this can really go to 2414 Fibonacci levels, maybe even 1618. Let's not be greedy. So 1414 and 1618 would be happy as well. I would be very happy at that for those levels as well. So it can do 22x, so risking just 20%, like if I risk 20k on this, I can make like how much, I don't know, but that 100k can be like 2.2 million. So just imagine, this is a very good opportunity in my view. So you should be having eyes on this as well. So overall, this is the plan, guys, and I'll be keep on updating it on our channel. And tomorrow is the last day of Ramadan, and most likely from Monday onwards, I'm going full. I mean, look at the chart, my timetable. So 30th and Monday 31st, we will be going full trading mode actually. And I also want to teach you, for those who are interested in how to do day trading and how to set your time frames and everything. I'll be more focused on challenge and as some screen swings as well, but more focused on challenge. I want to take this challenge in April. My target is to check from 1k to 3k. That is a target for April. We're going to work towards those targets, and let's get it, guys. Let's get it. And the bots are working, guys, so please use those bots. Also, one small announcement: I've talked with Bybit, and they have arranged a trading competition especially for our community, and they'll be shortly sharing the link so that I can create a small trading competition for us. The prizes would be amazing. Along with the prize, they will also be giving a VIP status, a free VIP status. So for example, if you're having VIP2, they will be giving a free VIP status for VIP3. Actually, they'll upgrade you for like few days, and also there are a lot of perquisites gonna happen. So if you are not trading on or not having account on Bybit, just create an account on Bybit. The link is mentioned in this YouTube description. It's also there on my Twitter profile, or X profile, sorry, and you can check it out there, and you can create an account. Okay, and I'm just going to take a break a little bit, and after taking a break, I'll note down the points that we discussed on this stream, so that for those who haven't attended, they can attend it. Okay, so that's it from my end. Have a nice day, guys, and cheers. Bye bye. Take care.